Hey guys, in this video we are going to be looking at the Hawkeye Firefly 2. This was sent to us from Banggood. Before we actually get into the video, I just want to have a quick word on this. Some of you who follow our Instagram might know that we have recently partnered up, I guess, with Banggood. If you don't follow our Instagram, you now know we have partnered up with Banggood. Basically, I just want to speak about this quick. When Banggood approached us and said, "Are you interested in reviewing our products?" very few people are going to be saying, "Nah, I'm not interested." But we kind of weren't. We didn't. A lot of people that are involved with these sort of companies get RC sent to them that no one really knows about, no one is all that interested in. So when they said to us, "Do you want to review this car?" our answer was no. Honestly, at this stage, we were more interested in getting products sent to us so that we could improve the quality of our videos, and that is why, as a first product from Banggood, we have a camera, not a car, because we didn't want to be just like everyone else who gets the first thing thrown at them and reviews something that isn't all that great. So we're going to put this thing to the test, see if it's any good, do a little review for you, and hopefully, if nothing else, it will help you guys decide on what camera or what equipment you need to be able to make high quality videos, because that's exactly what we're doing. We're already looking at 2 or 3 other products which are hopefully going to help improve the sound, image, angles of our videos so that it looks a bit more professional than what we've got currently. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. If it doesn't, leave a comment down below, I'll get back to you. With that being said, let's have a look what it's like. Alright, first off guys, sorry if you can hear the fan in the background, but it's like 3 million degrees here at the minute, and there's people cutting the grass outside and birds going, so a fan's the best I could do. Who knows, maybe with our next Banggood product we'll be getting a microphone so we can cancel all this out. This is how the Hawkeye Firefly 2 micro action camera is packaged. You can tell by the size of the box it's going to be a small little camera. Our main rationale for choosing this over anything else on Banggood's website for our first product was the simple fact that we've been trying to get a lot of onboard angles of our trucks lately, so we needed something nice and small with decent capabilities that was going to provide those shots without obstructing the capabilities of the car. So there it is, that is the camera. It is tiny. It's 2.5K capable. Obviously that goes right down to 720p. This is the instruction manual, I guess. Weighs 31 grams apparently. It's IPX4 water splash resistant, so it's not waterproof, which is probably at the minute its biggest downside, but I mean that's relatively easily overcome. It does come with a silicone casing, housing, whatever you want to call it, which just, I'm not going to say I'd submerge it because it's only a silicone housing, but that is a pretty snug fit, so I'm going to be confident that that is at least splash proof. But like I said, I wouldn't be submerging it. Built-in battery for 1 hour, low latency output for FPV, so if you're into your drones, all the usual stuff you'd expect in a little manual. Performance and specifications. So it is 2.5K capable at 30 frames per second. 1080p is 60 or 30 frames, and 720p is 60 frames. So if you like slow-mo, the 1080p is probably your best bet. But again, for why we got this is for the onboard shots. The slow-mo isn't really necessary. The measurements for this thing are 30mm by 30mm by 36mm. These are the cameras that we usually use, Hero 7 white, and that's the size in comparison. The entirety of this is virtually the same size as the lens for the GoPro. It also comes with some little Velcro straps, so I guess that would be for use again with the drones, anchoring it onto the little mounting plate. This is essentially a programming card, I guess. This is how you change the settings of it, because obviously there's no screen. You plug this into there, you grab this, which plugs into the other side, which then plugs into your FPV screen or whatever it is that you use. Hopefully we're going to try and link this up to a telly, because we're not really into drones all that much. We haven't got any drones, so we don't have an FPV screen or whatever it is that you need. We'll find out more about that a bit later on. On here there is the charging port, SD port, reset button. On the other side is the port for the controller, and finally the only two buttons that are on here, the mode and the power. So if we start it up, there you go, long press the power button, LED will come up and then it'll beep at you. 3 beeps means it's on. So red LED, once it's powered up, is 2.5K. Obviously that is locked at 30 frames per second. So once you've got that LED up, you know what resolution you're set to. Just one quick tap of this button and you're filming. Holding the mode button for a couple of seconds will change the mode again. That is blue and red, I believe, if you can see, which according to the manual means that you are now in photo mode. So if we change that over again, that is blue. So whatever your default setting is, that will be 1080p 60 frames, 1080p 30 frames, or 720p 60 frames, depending on what your default is. Like I said, to start recording, one quick tap of that and you are good to go. Just mount the camera to wherever you need it to be. It's all golden. So there it is, guys. That is the Hawkeye Firefly 2 micro action camera. I'm really excited to see what this thing's like. And this thing is £50 usually. The good people at Banggood sent us this free of charge. If you're interested and like the look of what you see in this thing and its capabilities, there's a link down in the description. Check it out, find out a bit more about it. Now there are a couple of little annoyances for me with this thing. Charging port, not very common. Most people aren't gonna have one of those laying around. I'm not personally impressed really with that. The needing to plug this in to change the menu, change the settings, but this is a drone based camera, so I mean for the drone guys this might be right up your street, it might be perfect for you, but that is not ideal for me. Just personally for me, I would like a more generic charging cable and something, I don't know, an app for your phone or something maybe, where you can change the settings without having to plug it into a monitor. Alright, so we have got it linked up, it's connected, this is live. Hello, hey YouTube. We can now use this to change the settings. So if we, okay, middle button tells you that there is an SD card not inserted. I imagine that would be different if there was. Up does nothing, down does nothing. left brings up the settings. So if we go to the top, it's currently defaulted to 1080-60. So like I said, 2.5 30 frames, 1080p 60 frames, 1080p 30 frames, 720p 60 frames. They are the 4 options that you've got of filming with this. So the red LED will tell you it's 2.5K, and the blue will tell you that it is either of these 3, whatever you have set as your default. So I'm going to leave it in 1080p 60, so you can get an idea for the frame rate as well as the quality of 1080p, rather than having 2.5 and 1080p at 30 frames. Video quality, you've got 2 options, superfine and fine. I'm hoping that the superfine is a little bit better than that. Video clip time, I'm assuming this means how long a clip will be before it begins a new clip. External voltage, video time lapse, if you want to do a time lapse with the camera, apparently you can. Sound record on, I'm going to leave it on, and you can change the volume of the mic. The quality is never great, especially with it being such a small camera. So metering center, exposure 0.3. I'm going to leave all these as default. I am going to change the white balance though, put that on auto. But on the whole, the latency isn't too bad, so if you are trying to use this as an FPV camera, it might do you some good. I don't know, I've never flown a drone, to be honest. Couple of little annoyances about it though. This is annoying to me. I've never flown a drone, so I haven't got a monitor for FPV, so I've got nothing that I could really plug that straight into other than a telly, as you can see, which isn't the most ideal, but it is what it is. But yeah, as someone who doesn't own a drone, I would much appreciate that being a much more generic sort of programming system. So say an app, a lot of the GoPro, for example, have got an app where you can change the settings of the camera. This, in my opinion, would benefit greatly from that. Also, the other end, the charging cable is not ideal because it's not generic. Very few people are going to have one of those lying around, so again, it would benefit greatly if it had much more accessibility with cables and software. On the whole, I'm quite impressed with the clarity of the image, but I don't like the watermark in the bottom left corner. There must be a way to delete this, because I've seen quite a few videos of this camera without that watermark, but it isn't the easiest to find in the settings, as you saw earlier. I'm also really impressed with the microphone quality, to be honest. It is much better than I was expecting it to be. But there is quite a sort of like hissing sound, I suppose a white noise in the background. Take a listen when nothing's moving. Final thing I want to say about this in 2.5K is the white balance is not amazing. It does kind of drain out the rest of the image quite a bit. Like I said earlier, I'm really impressed with this camera, especially for the price of it. It definitely has its flaws, but the image overall is impressive. 2.5K will definitely be our default, but when it comes to bashing, we'll probably use 1080p predominantly just for the higher frame rate. So moving forward, this is definitely a camera that we'll be using regular. It not being waterproof was my biggest concern with it in the unboxing, but it didn't seem bothered by a thunderstorm and it shot continuously for around 30 minutes, no problem at all. If you want to know a bit more about this camera, there's a link down in the description, check it out.